Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. Welcome to another video for League of Legends. In this game we're going to be looking at Jinx is played by Myth. This is taken from one of our Tuesday YouTube night custom games. This is a 5v5. People who are followers of the YouTube channel or just people who wanted to turn out to take part in our game. Let me go ahead and run through who we've got in this game real quick. Before we get into that, we're going to see Myth playing Jinx in bottom lane. Going to be playing alongside me as Morgana. And I guess I'll get to the laning matchups in a second. We'll let people run off to the actual lanes before we get there. Let me just set up the scoreboard here. And we should be just about ready to go here. So I'll just mention in passing a little bit about Jinx's strengths and weaknesses. Jinx is a champion who scales really well into the late game. She's not the strongest laner. She actually has a decent very early laning phase, like levels 1 through 3. And then she has kind of a big trough in the mid game where she doesn't really have much laning presence, is a fairly weak champion. But then in late game, when she gets to 3 items, she comes back and kind of starts to become really strong again. In particular, if she gets kills or assists in a team fight, then she triggers her passive and then gets a big burst of speed, and that allows her to kind of get resets and reposition in a team fight. So she can look like she's dead to rights and then suddenly gets like a kill or assist and then accelerates out of whatever trouble she's in. So a great late game team fighter. Not the best in lane, as I said, out after the first couple levels. Kind of like the Tristana treatment in that sense. In the sense that Trist is really strong for like levels 1, 2, and 3, and then kind of falls off for a very long time in the mid game. Jinx is pretty popular right now. She's always been a fairly popular champion ever since she was released, but is kind of in a good position right now. Seems to be getting a lot of play in solo queue. Has popped up occasionally in professional play, not as much there, but has seen occasional use. And we're going to be pairing Jinx together with Morgana in this game. It's a nice pairing overall just because the Black Shield is really helpful at getting Jinx out of trouble since she doesn't really have much in the way of natural escapes herself. She tends to do well when she's paired with champs that can get her out of trouble since she's a limited mobility champ until she triggers her passive. Alright, so other lanes. In top lane we have Bombam playing as Fiora up against Electric playing as Olaf. In mid, we're going to have Ball and Brian on blue team playing against T-Rex. On red team, it is a Lux versus Ahri match. In the jungle, we've got Tiger 474 playing as Xinjiao, and then we've got Black Ox playing as Shen in the other side, so jungle Shen. And then down here, it is a Jinx Morgana matchup against a Jhin plus Leona matchup. Now, this is not a very good matchup for red team, just specifically because the Morgana pick really hard counters the Leona pick on the part of Phoenix Soulblade. So Faflix and Phoenix Soulblade against Myth and me here down in the bottom lane. The big thing is Leona's whole thing is starting fights, engaging with her Zenith Blade and then her Shield of Daybreak. And the Black Shield just completely shuts that down. And we're going to see a great example of that in a little bit here. I have actually taken Black Shield at level 2, which means I don't technically have binding just yet until I hit level 3. But as you will see, the Black Shield really shuts down any attempt to get a fight started, just because Leona tries to get in a stun, and then she's not able to do that. Alright, so in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and look at the passive here. Get excited whenever a champion, tower, or inhibitor that Jinx has dealt damage to in the last 3 seconds is killed or destroyed. She gets 175% decaying movement speed and 15% total attack speed for 6 seconds. So this is her reset ability. If she gets a kill or an assist, or she kills a tower, she gets a big burst of speed where she can reposition, and then she also gets a temporary burst of attack speed as well. Usually the movement speed is the more significant part of that. But as I said, great for repositioning in teamfights. You can also use it to escape, kill a turret, and then escape. You get the idea. Alright, let's slow this down to half speed because we're going to see Phoenix Soulblade goes in, and I managed to get the Black Shield just in time. So notice there is no stun, and then I managed to hit the root, so now we'll go back to normal speed. And Faflix really doesn't have much way to get out. He uses heal. He's going to try to flash away, but the Ignite finishes him off, and now it is a 2v1 against poor Phoenix Soulblade, who has gone in as Leona, but is unable to get out. I'm going to hit a second binding, and then we are able to finish that off. Phoenix Soulblade did have both summoners up, so Phoenix might have been able to get out of that by flashing the Dark Binding, or potentially even flashing after the binding hit, but before we managed to stack up enough damage to get the kill. But unfortunately, not quite enough fast fingers, not able to get out of that. And so we're going to go 2 for 0 down here, and that's put us in fantastic position in this lane. We thought that we would have to play kind of defensively because the Jhin is stronger in lane than the Jinx. However, with an early kill on Jinx and an early assist, we should be in a position where we'll be able to get a nice buy and come back to lane in a much stronger position. By the way, watch this. Myth's trying to recall. Faflix though, nope. Not going to allow that. Uses the Deadly Flourish. Interrupts Myth's recall. Nicely done there by Faflick. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at some more of the Jinx skills. We're going to get the ideal first buy coming out from Myth. Notice he goes back to base with 1,500 gold thanks to the kill and the assist. Able to get the BF sword on first trip back, which is exactly what you want. This means that we are going to have a huge edge in this lane with the BF sword versus Faflick, who unfortunately only able to grab boots and some wards and health potions on his trip back. So that is going to put us in a very advantageous position indeed. Anyway, so I already mentioned to get excited. Let's look at some of Jinx's other skills while we've got some time here. Jinx players almost always scale their Q first. I'm not sure I've ever seen them scale anything else first. This is called Switcheroo. It basically allows Jinx to swap between two weapons. One is the rocket launcher. Boy, I wish that this would just stay on the screen. Basic attacks deal 110% damage to the target, gain 100 range, drain mana, and scale less with bonus attack speed. So basically the rocket launcher means that you do area of effect damage and you have very long range. However, you don't get as much bonus from attack speed, so you have like slower attacks that have more range and have a slight area of effect property. Then the other one is the minigun. Minigun basic attacks grant bonus attack speed for 2.5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times for a total bonus of 55%. We're getting in some harass here, so I land a binding on Phoenix Soulblade. So kind of the default one, as you see that really long bounce from the Jin there, land. The default is basically the minigun. That's what you use most of the time. The minigun has much shorter range. If I can go ahead and highlight Myth's character sheet here, where's the range? All right, so 525 range. So 525 range on the minigun, and then goes up to 625 when he switches to the rocket launcher. And I believe that you get a little bit more range with each point in the skill on the rocket launcher. However, your attacks do cost mana to use when you're in the rocket launcher form, and you attack much slower. So it can be useful for like long range harass. Can be useful if enemies are clumped up. You can use it for farming. Minigun is kind of your default option though, because you get so much attack speed. Like Myth is keeping this stacked up, and he's got a lot of attack speed. What did he have? He's sitting at like 1.26 without any attack speed items whatsoever. That's quite good there. So that's kind of the basics to Jin, is the using her minigun versus her rocket launcher. There's the minigun right now. Has a nice little sound effect here with the Star Guardian skin. And you will see Myth using a lot of that, and then switching over to the rocket launcher occasionally when he wants to get in like long range damage or get in AoE damage. Anyway, you get the idea. I've said enough about that. Let's look at the next skills. I'm going to highlight the W next. This is called Zap. There it is right there, by the way. That was the Zap, if you haven't seen it before. Jin fires a Shock Blast that deals physical damage to the first enemy hit, reveals, and slows for 2 seconds. This has very long range. It is also a very narrow skill shot though, so it can be a little bit tricky to use sometimes, just because, as I mentioned, very narrow hitbox, but it slows the enemy hit, so thereby can synergize really well with Get Excited. If you can land this and then Get Excited, easy to chase people down. And of course, it also reveals targets as well, so that can be useful against stealth champions. Like we go ahead, there's the rocket launcher, by the way, 2 shots from the rocket launcher, and then a zap. Really nice harass there. Meanwhile, there's a fight that goes 1-for-1 in the top lane. We had the jungler come up, but Electric was able to turn that into a 1-for-1, even though he was getting ganked, so that's a nice play from him, and Electric's ahead up in that top lane. Anyway, so you get the idea. We're landing poke here. The idea is if we can land one more binding on Faflick, because we kind of harassed him and gotten him relatively low. If we can land one more binding, we can probably finish it off. So he's having to play really defensively. Good ward there, though, by the way. Nice job to put that down and protect against attacks coming in. There's the Flame Choppers, by the way. I'll talk more about the Flame Choppers in a minute. But I want to see if I can go ahead and set up this next play, just to give you a little tidbit about playing Morgana. Alright, so Morgana Binding does not go through minions. I think most people are aware of that, right? So you normally stand behind the minions if you don't want to get hit by a Morgana Dark Binding. However, you can set things up so you can fire through a minion right when it's about to die. And if you do that, you can often catch people off guard by catching them in bindings where they think they're safe, but they're actually not safe because the minion that was protecting them suddenly has died to like an auto attack or something. And that's the play that I'm going to be trying to set up here in just a couple of seconds. Alright, so keep your eye on these minions here, right? So we've got the minions. Faflick is behind the minions, so he looks like he's safe. And I'm going to go ahead and slow it down right here. So Faflick is auto-attacking to pick this up. He's protected from a binding by this creep, but watch. I know that Myth's about to kill this creep, so Down it goes, out comes the Dark Binding, Faflik's still auto-attacking, and he gets binded, out comes the Jinx ultimate, and that combined with the Ignite is enough to get the kill. So anyway, basic stuff, just a little tip from someone who's played a fair amount of Lux and Morgana about how to set those kills up in a way that people aren't necessarily expecting. I was trying to set that up to shoot out a Dark Binding just as a minion died, and was able to pull it off right there. So we get another kill for Myth, and unfortunately for Faflik, this is going to snowball him further behind in this lane. We're going to look to take a plate and then back after that. Alright, next ability on Jinx, Flame Choppers. Jinx tosses out 3 Choppers that once armed explode on contact with enemy champions, root the target for 1.5 seconds, stop in-progress movement abilities on the spot before dealing magic damage to nearby enemies. You don't use this ability for the magic damage, you use it to get the root on enemies for a couple seconds. Now here, we're looking to back, and Tiger's going to make a mistake. He does not have lane pressure right now because we in the bottom lane are backing. It's a nice use of the Jhin ultimate coming out from Faflik to get the slow, and then that is going to be enough as they chase this down. Black is going to flash for it, and he does manage to pick that one up. Good attempt at the shield coming in from Ball and Brian, but not quite enough. And so that's actually pretty significant because it's going to lead the red team to getting the Scuttle Crab, and it's going to lead them to looking to take this Ocean Drake as well. And again, because we were back at base buying, we are not really in a position to fight for this since our jungler's dead, and our back lane that's snowballing ahead has had to back to pick up gold and spend it, or to go ahead and spend our gold. You don't pick up your gold at the fountain. So red team does get the dragon, and like I said, that's a nice pickup, just created off of that one kill. And my team, blue team, really should have been able to get the first dragon just because we were winning bottom lane pretty solidly. Anyway, there's a kill on top lane, so let's go back and just watch this real quick. Let's see how this got set up. All right, so, Electric gets really low, and oh wow, gets the flash. Looks like it's the end of the fight, but then goes back in. Oh, lands the Ignite right before Bomb Bam can dash in. Wow, yeah, Electric. So one thing you always have to be careful with Olaf is due to that passive, he does get more attack speed. The more health he's missing, the faster he attacks, and that was a case where Electric got low but did not quite get finished off. Really looked like he was dead in that fight, but managed to make his way out of it. Down in bottom lane, as we said, we have gotten pretty far ahead, so Myth is going into a freeze right now. He's just freezing the lane. This is actually pushing towards blue team's turret right now, very slowly, but if you notice, there's more ranged minions on red team's side than there are on blue team's side. So yes, this is actually pushing towards blue team's turret right now. I am trying to harass them with the Morgana, with the Spell Thieves, by putting down the pool, and I'm trying not to hit the creep wave so that this will not push towards their tower. Trying to keep it pushing towards us where it's really hard for them to fight for it. And the other thing I'm trying to do is I have gotten the transform of my support item, so I'm trying to go ahead and sweep out vision with the Oracle's Lens. So get rid of any wards in the side brush like this that's going to give their team vision. We've already got a pink ward here, we've got another pink ward here, so we're doing a really good job of denying them vision. And then I'm going to look to sweep out this ward as soon as my Oracle's Lens is up off of cooldown as well. Meanwhile, as for Myth, he has gone and rushed the Infinity Edge first. That's a standard first item on Jinx. Not so great on its own, but really synergizes great when you get more attack speed items to back it up, when you get your various Zeal items that build into more attack speed and more critical strike chance. Now Brian roams down here, and it's a nice dodge by Phoenix Soulblade. It's going to be enough to get Phoenix out of that, and we probably should have been able to get a kill right there, but we actually weren't watching that roam well enough. And in fact, T-Rex is going to punish Brian for roaming down there by going ahead and getting this tower plate, and then actually ulting to clear the minion wave as well. So does a nice job there, and then meanwhile Electric is getting more tower plates up in top lane as well, and this is going to put a lot of gold into the pockets of the Olaf, because he's got 5,800 gold. He has snowballed a long way ahead of Bomb Bam just off of taking all those tower plates. So even though my team is ahead bot, red team's actually ahead in this game overall by almost 1,500 gold, largely due to taking all those plates. So if we're going to carry this game, it's going to have to come from the bottom lane. Alright, I mentioned that Myth went and got the Infinity Edge first. He'll look to build more attack speed items that build out of Zeal after that. In terms of his skilling order, let's see if Brian can get out of this gank right here. He's trying to dodge the Shen Taunt, but can't. Shen Taunt into the RE Charm, nicely done by T-Rex. Going to use the stopwatch. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Tiger's coming in to try to save it, but no, not quite enough. And then I'm going to come in, but nope, can't hit the Dark Binding through the minions. So nicely played. End up going 1 for 0. And then fortunately, as Morg, I can Black Shield the follow-up charm. Here, Myth looks like he might be getting jumped on by Phoenix Soulblade, but fortunately that pink is there. There's the Flame Choppers. Again, Flame Trappers you don't actually use for damage. Nice sidestep from Myth, dodges the Zenith Blade. There is the Shield of Daybreak. Now Phoenix should probably have dropped the Leona, the ultimate as well, right on that initial stun, because I'm now going to roam down. We're going to land the initial. There's the follow-up Leona ultimate, but unfortunately it's a little bit late, and it was at a point in time where I had already dropped the Black Shield on Myth, so he does not get stunned at all, and we're able to turn that fight around using the Morgana ultimate, and we're able to clean up that kill, and managed to go 1 for 0 in that fight there. Meanwhile, Electric is continuing to just be an absolute terror on the top side of the map. He just picked up a kill on Bomban, looking to see if he can chase this down on Tiger, but Brian is going to be there. Oh, a handy Shen ult coming in from Black Ox. Going to be enough to save Electric, and hey, that's why you play Shen wherever you can put him, exactly for situations like that. Anyway, so like I said, going back to the play in the bottom lane a minute ago, just a little tip for Leona. In a situation like that where you land the Shield of Daybreak stun, the Q stun, you can often follow that up by dropping the Solar Flare right on top of the same target, just for an extended stun duration. If you stun them with your Q, they can't dodge your ultimate. You just literally drop it on top of their head. And that probably would have been the better play there, because by the time the Leona ultimate was used, we were able to Black Shield it and be able to get out of that. Alright, anyway though, the game is still pretty close. Red Team's still about 1,500 gold ahead. Red Team's still got that Ocean Drake right now. And Faflik is doing a good job of farming. Like, he's way behind in this lane, but continuing to farm, continuing to remain relevant. He has got the Boots 3. It looks like he's building towards an Infinity Edge as well, I think. Maybe not. We'll see what he turns to build that into. And both teams are right now fighting for vision, because we both want this Cloud Drake that's going to spawn next. Cloud Drakes are really good to get. The early Ocean, super nice to get as well, but something we definitely want. Now, alright, Electric has come down here. He's engaging on Myth. I missed the Dark Blinding. The Ragnarok is running, so we cannot CC him. I'm going to have to use my stopwatch to get out of this, and then I'm going to have to flash away. But with 3 people on the case, we are finally able to take down that raid boss that is Electric and get that particular kill. Now, the rest of the red team's joining in. Also, Faflik's going up the top lane to farm. Not a bad choice. He definitely needs to pick up more farm to be effective. So we were hoping that we could fight for this Cloud Drake, because we had managed to take their strongest champion off the board. There's the initial taunt. I'm going to follow up with the Black Shield. Lux ultimate comes out after Tiger already gets popped. Black is really low. We want to try to catch him. My job right now is trying to protect Myth. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that if he gets finished off. I'm going to get 1 kill back on Phoenix Soulblade. That is a 2 for 1 thus far. However, we're going to see Black go back in, and probably should not have re-engaged there, because we're able to clean up that kill. So it ends up being a 2 for 2 in the extended fight, and it doesn't look like either team's going to be able to take Dragon off of this. Unfortunately, I was not able to keep Myth alive in that fight, because I had used the Black Shield earlier on Tiger. I was trying to keep him alive, but probably should have saved it for Myth, just because Myth was the strongest member of our team down there, and it would have been more useful to make sure that Myth avoided getting CC'd, as opposed to Tiger being CC'd. Anyway, right here, also, I anticipated that Electric was going to run in here and check the brush, and so I back off to recall in a safer place that does not have Angry Man Olaf chasing after me. Well, I've got a minute here. I'll just go back and highlight the skilling order for Jinx, since I haven't talked too much about that. Again, skill your Q first. This is like pretty basic. Everybody skills the Q first. Gives you extra attack speed on the minigun, gives you extra range on the rocket launcher. Then skill your Zap second, 1 point skill on your Flame Choppers. Obviously skill your ult whenever it's available. So right here, Olaf's low, and Myth's gonna fire the ult, and ew, sorry about that. Yep, that one was a little bit off. So hey, let's highlight the Jinx ultimate just because I haven't done that yet, shall we? Super Mega Death Rocket, great name for an ultimate. Jinx fires a rocket, gains damage over the first second it travels, explodes on the first enemy champion hit, deals physical damage plus missing health. Nearby enemies take 80% damage. So you shoot out a big rocket, it gains damage over the first second, so it does, if it's like point blank, it doesn't do that much damage. If you can shoot it to at least like a minimal range, it deals more damage. Does deal percentage of missing health, so it is an execute, since it deals more damage based on how much health is missing. And it does AoE damage as well when it explodes. So right there, note the Get Excited passive. Myth is able to run away from the tower super fast. So we're able to take that one down and run away. Now, look, it looks like we're going to have another continuation of this dragon fight. I put the Black Shield on Myth. Note that he does not get hit by the Olaf axe at all, just walks right through it. Also, check out this ward. This ward is really going to help us because we can see what's going on over there. Going to allow Tiger to go in and engage. Black Ox is out, and now we're able to get the Ragnarok ultimate out of Olaf. So this is really helping us. We also have Fiora split pushing, so keep that in mind. It is a 5v4 in red team's advantage. And oh, watch this. Words win games. We're able to hit the late binding over the wall from Brian because we have vision right there. Unfortunately, not a safe place for Blackhawks to recall from, so we're going to hop on him. We were waiting to see if someone would go top. We did just get the kill on Shen, so they do not have a jungler here, so we should be able to win any smites. And now we're going to sweep out this vision here. We're waiting to see if anyone was top. Turns out as soon as we see Olaf top, we're like, all right, they don't have the jungler. Olaf's top. We have a 4v3 advantage here. So we should be safe to start up the dragon and look to fight for this. Now, their team still wants to fight for this. They don't want to just give us this Cloud Drake. So they're going to look to engage. Nice charm landing on Brian. I'm going to drop the Black Shield on him, but unfortunately he's basically already dead by that point. Needed the Black Shield before the charm hit, not afterwards. Meanwhile, we are going to get the re-engage on T-Rex. Shen ult coming in. Myth is still safe in the fight for right now. And we're going to try to get Tiger out, but we're not going to make it. And at this point, we kind of just have to turn and walk away. So they go 2 for 0 in the fight, but we did get the Cloud Drake. And right here, Myth's going to land the zap, and that time it's a much better rocket. Now Bomb Bam's going to enter the fight. He engages, so now it's a 2 for 2 fight in this extended trade. Bomb Bam continuing to go in. I'm going to Black Shield him to try to keep him safe. Toss down the Chompers, but unfortunately, there's the Ragnarok, so Olaf can run right over the Chompers. But we've got a lot of ways to get out of crowd control in this game, right? Between the Olaf ultimate and the Morgana Black Shield. Myth's going to get over the wall. So in the long, extended version of that dragon fight, red team went 3 for 2, but blue team took Cloud Drake. So probably in our favor because they only got 1 more kill. And we also got a lot of damage top. We almost got this inner turret in top lane because we had Bomb Bam slip pushing up there. So I'd say overall that play was in favor of blue team. And the gold kind of reflects that as well because before red team was ahead, but now blue team has opened up about a 1,500 gold lead, just as red team was ahead by 1,500 gold earlier. We're also at the point now where Myth has picked up a fair number of kills. He's got 4 kills and 6 assists now. He also has a good amount of farm, right around 150 is not bad at all for this stage of the game. There's the rocket launcher again. Pretty obvious with the sound effects when Myth is using the minigun and when he's using the rocket launcher. So he's gotten quite strong. He's finished his Infinity Edge and he's finished his Static Shiv, so he's on 2 items. When he gets his 3rd item, which I think is going to be the Ruden's Hurricane, but I can't recall off the top of my head. Once he gets his 3rd item is when he'll really be online and where he'll just be doing like pretty massive damage. That is one problem with the Olaf. Olaf can be quite strong early on in the game, can be good and pretty good lane bully, especially if he gets ahead like this. Doesn't scale especially great into late game. He's not terrible or anything, but like he will not be able to put out as much damage as, you know, a Jinx. Like let's just be honest, Jinx is going to outscale him. So in the battle between the Olaf, who still has the most gold in the game, and the Jinx, who's getting close, the Jinx will outscale over time as this game goes on, just by virtue of being a ranged DPS as opposed to like a melee pseudo-bruiser here. Nice poke from Brian right there, landing that Lux E on T-Rex. So at the moment, our goal for blue team is to try to take this mid turret. That's the clear next goal because we've already gotten the hour turret in bottom lane and in top lane. So what we want to do is try to get some vision in their jungle, both on top side and bottom side if possible, and then use that vision to look to score kills, get picks, and hopefully make a play somewhere in terms of trying to get this turret. I'm trying to keep vision around Baron. We actually have Baron in pretty good warding coverage. They actually don't have any vision of Baron currently. So, I mean, we're not likely to just take Baron. It's a close game. We can't just start up Baron and hope that they don't show up. But if we do maybe get a kill here or there, we could then look to take Baron after that. So both teams fighting over vision right now and trying to see if they can kind of outflank the other one. Pretty good contest going over vision right now, although I think I've been doing a pretty good job with vision based on the vision score that I've got there. But their team's been sweeping, doing a good job of sweeping out wards as well. And like we really can't look to start a fight until we can get vision somewhere. All right, so here, Tiger is going to see Faflick by himself and is going to look to go in and engage, so that's going to start the next fight. Shed ult comes out from Black, going to be able to get that. Unfortunately, that Leona E misses. Nice ult from Ball and Brian. Now Black is kind of overchased a little bit. Meanwhile, we also have Tiger, who's still going in. I'm going to try to land a Dark Binding. It's going to miss, but then watch this. Out comes the Jinx Rocket, and Myth's going to pick off that kill, so we just went 3 for 0. In that fight. And now, with that 3 for 0 play, we're going to be cleared to look to take the mid turret. We could maybe go for Baron, but it's a little bit risky. A lot of us are fairly low. We do not have the Ocean Drake. Their team's the one with the Ocean Drake. So we're going to use this time to look to shove mid and try to get at least 1 turret, if not 2 turrets here. Electric still has not used his ult, so we have to be careful about that. But, I mean, it's a 5-on-2, so there's not all that much that he's going to be able to do here in that fight. And we were just able to get a good fight, largely because we were able to get, Tiger got the initial engage. He was able to hop on top of Faflick kind of while he was isolated by himself, and then just kind of use all our skills in succession. By the way, this is not a safe recall, but I do manage to get away with it. Was not punished for being greedy. We are trying to reset right now because there's an Infernal Drake spawning next. We want to go back, we want to buy, we want to convert the gold that we just picked up in that last fight, which was really good for us. We want to look to convert that money into items so that we can be ready for this next fight when this Infernal's up. Tiger takes a little too long to back, and so now he actually can't go back, because if he does, he's pretty much conceding the Infernal Drake. So yeah, he's going to have to stick around even though he's sitting on like 2,000 gold. We were just like, hey, can't go back right now, because if you do, they're just going to start dragging, and they're going to take it with them having a smite and us not having it. So that's the goal right now. We're both trying to get vision. We dropped the ward over the dragon pit. Going to drop in a pink just so we can't have our vision denied. And their team has taken the scuttle crab, so that's going to be really nice for them right now, just because it gives them that extra vision and also gives them that extra maneuverability. We had kind of started up the dragon, but then opted to back off. We do have a lane to pressure mid right here, like Bomb Bam's getting some pressure mid, and if they rotate someone to defend their mid, which again, no inner turret, we can rotate, we can shove minions all the way up to their base turret there. If they do send someone to defend this, that would be our signal to look to start a fight around dragon. Instead though, the fight's just going to get started with Electric. He's going to race in right here. He is going to kill Ball and Brian, but then we're going to look to continue the fight. We're able to finish him. Now watch Myth, who is very safe in the back lines here. He's using the rocket launcher. Going to get excited right there. We're going to then finish off another kill. Going to land the Dark Binding on Blackhawks. That's going to be another kill. And then Bomb Bam cleans that one up at the end there. So we end up getting a triple kill on Bomb Bam, who goes to 5-3-2 on the game. And going to end up now decisively winning that fight. So Myth will take the Infernal Drake. Bomb Bam's going to shove mid. I am belatedly coming over to help him shove this minion wave. And that was just a huge, huge one-team fight for us. I think that fight was forced a little bit by Electric. I'm not sure that their team necessarily needed to kind of force that fight, but I just, from my perspective, I saw Olaf kind of like running in. And don't get me wrong, it's not like it was ineffective, because they did manage to kill Ball and Brian, and they did manage to kill Tiger on our side. But I did think that Olaf got a little bit out in front of the rest of the team. And so once we were able to kill him, we were kind of able to roll up the team fight with Myth getting excited and then chasing down quite a few kills. He's now 7-1-8 on the game and finished a rapid fire cannon before that for the extra, the extra attack range on his energized attack. So when he has that up and he's using the rocket launcher, he has pretty crazy range. Was it display here? 675. And then I guess he gets what? An extra. Oh, well, we'll try to figure out later, but yeah, he gets a lot of range right there. And again, when Jinx starts getting those resets in the team fights, she just runs around like crazy, chases people down, slows them with zap, runs them down. She's a snowball champion in team fights because of her reset base properties on her passive. All right, elsewhere, let's look at who's strong in terms of gold. So right now, Electric is still the strongest on the red team. However, Myth has actually caught up and overtaken him, again, thanks to having those 7 kills and the fact that we've been winning these team fights and we've been taking the global gold from taking turrets and such. And also Bomb Bam getting really close as well after getting that triple kill in the last team fight. Now, right now, Myth is not here. Myth is in bot lane, so we have to be careful. Tiger goes in and engages, and honestly, probably we should not engage because we don't have Myth here. I'm going to get off a pretty good Black Shield, but Olaf is just running through us. I'm going to get off a good Morgana ult that actually stuns 3 people, and we do see the Jinx rocket come in, but I'm now going to fall. However, Bomb Bam is coming in, and their team has used most of their ult, so Bomb Bam's going to get 1 kill. He's going to get 2 kills. Now he's focusing on the 3rd kill. Now he gets his quadra kill, and oh, Faflick's the only one alive. Is this going to be? Is it? Is it? Yep. It's the Fiora pentakill. So Bomb Bam going to finish that one off, pick up the ace, and yeah, that's just what happens when your team falls behind like that. They were right to force the fight because Jinx was not there. That was their best chance of winning a team fight, so I don't think it was the wrong opportunity to take that. But we were able to kite backwards pretty well in that fight, got off a pretty good Morgana ult, and the fact that they were, I think 6,000 or 7,000 gold behind when that fight started just made it a really difficult fight for them to win. And so that's going to allow us to clean up the fight with a pentakill on Bomb Bam for his 10th kill. And now look how much damage Myth is doing. As long as they don't CC Myth, they can't win right now. So he's going to claim another kill right there. Just continuing to shoot. He is not being CC'd at all. As long as he, kites backwards properly, he should be able to win these fights. Yeah, the Ragnarok is running, but again, Jinx is going to pick up another kill, gets excited, and now Myth's going to finish it off. 2 more shots on the Nexus will do it. But yeah, ends up the game 9-1-10 as the Jinx. Very, very impressive game. We were able to snowball ahead in the laning phase, and then Myth just cleans up the team fights from there. while running that passive. Getting the Get Excited passive allows him just to clean things up and finish this one off. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this game. As it turned out, the client closed again here, so I couldn't pause on the screen. I'm going to have to put up a static image for you guys to see here. So I'm actually not looking at the stats right now because it just disappeared off of my screen. But I hope you enjoyed watching this. Good chance to put some Jinx gameplay up here since I don't think I've featured her on the channel since coming back for Season 8 and now Season 9. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you're enjoying the Tuesday YouTube nights. If you enjoy Civ 4, check out our AI Survivor matches, which are running on Fridays right now. We do a big picking contest. It's a lot of fun, so check it out. There's a lot of videos about that here on the channel if you're interested. Until next time, hope your week's going well. See you guys soon. Take care.